Well, I was raised up beneath the shade of a Georgia pine, and that's home, with sweet pecan pies and homemade wine, where the peaches grow. And my house is not much to brag about, but it's filled with love and it's grown with southern pride, and a little bit of chicken fried. Cold beer on a Friday night, a pair of jeans that fit just right, and the radio. Nah, that's Chicken Fried by Zach Brown Band. I went down to Georgia, I went down to Atlanta for about a week. Beautiful city. But the only thing I really don't like, aside from the organization and the structure and the powers that be, that got, the people, you feel me, under subjugation, it's like the chemtrails, Atlanta is one of them cities where as soon as the sun comes up, them planes is flying back and forth, crosshatching the sky. You got 5, 6 planes at 9 in the morning, and they've increased these chemtrails ever since 2020, and that's what they've been talking to you about COVID. When that stuff breaks apart in the atmosphere and it covers the sky, it eventually settles down to the ground, and all those chemicals destroy people's crops, and we breathe it in. And sometimes it rains, and when it rains, that's not real rain. A lot of times it's just the chemicals. Even in a city with all this pollution, the fumes being released from different vehicles as well as plants and warehouses, mixed with the chemtrails, all that smog that's up in the sky, a lot of stuff that rains, it ain't even real rain. A lot of times it's acid rain. Even the rain is polluted. And I can't help but think about the natives when they made this prophecy. But they made a lot of prophecies that's coming to pass. I went down to Georgia and I had a revelation. I went down to Atlanta and I seen a lot of things. I seen from videos. I got to meet some people and had an epiphany. I'm realizing the most of my journey that the journey is not outside of me. That if I feel the need to change a location, it may help me process things different. It even may open different opportunities, but truly that's because it's the 50 states. The 50 states of mine, where you have the heat index different, you have the air quality different, the humidity different, the angles in which the sun hits the state, and the environment of the people, as well as the souls and the spirits and the energy that's surrounding the land, the history of the land. The land holds memory, the animals hold memory, we hold memory, the water holds memory. And so as we travel, we shift through states of mind. And when you're in a new environment, subconsciously it gives you the chance to recreate yourself or experience yourself differently, as we are just God, different pieces and fractions of the universe experiencing itself as a collective or as an individual. And I realized the journey is not really outside of me. I had to double back. I had to double back where I was from. I had to come back to Alabama. Spirit gave me a message and it was saying break the cycle, and I'm thinking just end things, change my situation, because if you move, your cycles are automatically going to pivot and they're going to change any cycle you have, whether that's you eating, waking up in the morning, who you surround yourself with, work, how you think, and everything. You immediately shift the cycles when you move. You don't have to necessarily shift states. You can even go to another city, another side of town. But I was thinking that's what God meant when he told me to break the cycle. But I didn't understand that if I leave, I'll just be running. And that's the cycle that I need to break. Stop picking up, leaving, and going somewhere else and starting all over. Going somewhere else, starting all over. That's the cycle that I need. And that's the cycle that I'm supposed to break. I got a Capricorn North Node. And I'm meant to, like, diamonds are made under pressure, so I'm meant to go through a lot of things, experience a lot of things, and still accomplish my goals and do it consistently. But I got so much Gemini in my chart, I just want to up and, be like a bird, like, certain seasons. You feel me? Yeah, some certain seasons, like, I just be wanting to be a bird. And learn about the earth element and the Capricorn is like you have to be rooted in routine and structure. You have to be unshakable. And you have to accomplish your goals like by any means necessary and do it consistently and not to like let things interfere with you. And you always have the choice to up and leave or change any situation, in which I can. But the cycle and what I'm supposed to be learning is, what if I couldn't? They say you can't heal in the place that you hurt, but that's not true. After all, we weren't hurting before we came to Earth. And we came here to experience. And we felt a lot of hurt through a lifetime. But it's in this same place at Earth, in the Earth realm, where we heal, where we learn, where we grow, where we progress. And that's what I've been learning lately. You can heal in the place that hurt you, but not if you keep running. You have to confront your issues, your problems, and you have to deal with yourself. No matter where you are, there you are. And where you go, you'll find your reflections. And I think that's funny, like the last place that I left, I had the same energies around me now. And it's just God's way of telling me that you still haven't learned a lesson. You can't change people, and you're not supposed to. You're supposed to change yourself. And going on that trip, I also realized that a lot of my premonitions that I have, they can change. I can change them. Or a person could change and change them. Or the collective as a whole can change and change them. Some are inevitable, fates. But some are just destiny. And a lot of people try to destiny swap with me. And destiny swap, it's a catch-22. It ain't. Can't nobody beat you. No matter if they wear your clothes, they talk like you, they steal your clout, they, you feel me, subjugate you, or to the public, they make it, you feel me, they eclipse you. Even if they take you out. A lot of people, I just read this thing where it said like Aaliyah was supposed to be Beyonce. No. And Aaliyah destiny swap with Beyonce, like, because Jay-Z really wanted Aaliyah, XYZ, this whole, you feel me, conspiracy theory, which may, it may reign some truth, but the thing about it is, Beyonce could never be Aaliyah, and Aaliyah could never be Beyonce. Put on some Aaliyah, put on some Beyonce. Two completely different vibes. I don't care about her early albums to late. It's just a different vibe. Even her aesthetic, they're just two different people. As a soul, you're an individual. You shouldn't be trying to destiny swap with somebody. It's really, if you attempt to destiny swap with somebody, or you see somebody as above yourself, you really don't have faith in yourself. Like, you really don't love yourself if you try desperately to be somebody else other than you. And you're just seeking acceptance. And another thing is, like, we all got our own destiny. And the thing about our destiny is we know what we set out here to do before we got here. This is why we have these dreams and these premonitions and these visions, because we know we're destined to be whatever these things are. And some of us remember and know since children, some of us find our way and remember, or we think we discovered. But it's truly a lot of times, and this is why you see like people like, if you watch Behind the Music or you look at different like videos, autobiographies or biographies about people, you can see their early childhood, them already doing what they were created to do, living their purpose and their gift. And they may have like had to find their way in the world and a platform to express that gift and find the people and the means and become, like grow and become that person that fits that vibration, that frequency on that same space, time, and that alignment to meet their destiny. And your fate is to help you achieve your destiny. Just like in a video game, you could play GTA, you go on any side of town, you could go, you could go carjack, you go like, see how many girlfriends you could get. But the truth is, it's like that one girl, that's your girl. Like truly, like if you play GTA, and I'm talking about San Andreas because they made like a whole bunch of new ones, you hear me? But San Andreas, once you play like that girl you saved for that burger building, that's your girl. The rest of the girls, you could get them, you could fuck with them, woo, woo. But that girl, that's the one that's gonna hold you down. That's the one, you feel me, that's on the back of your bike, in your car, you feel me, that's well ready to bust with you. That's your ride or die. But you could keep looking, and you could even like find a whole bunch of apartments. You could even make a whole bunch of stores, whatever you want to do, like, But the thing about fate is, it's here for you to reach your destiny. The creator, just like the designer of a video game, they've already put things in place to help you, to guide you, and it's predestined. And so just like you pop in that CD and you see that laser eye move and shift, that's just that's just the planets. You're the sun. That's your point of consciousness, like the laser. But you're really just shifting alignment with planets. Like if you go a little bit out, there goes Mercury. Go a little bit further, there goes Venus. Go a little bit further, there goes Mars. And so you're shifting. The same way those planets align with our chakras, they also align with our frequency and our vibration. And so when we're in that alignment with that cross, when we're in alignment, that's when we meet a point. The world keeps spinning, the CD keeps spinning, time keeps passing, life goes on. That's what point that you're in the world while it's turning. And so when you shift, when you hear that, you shift. That's your point of consciousness, that I. And so everything already exists. It's already predestined. We already have a fate and a destiny. And so the whole object is for you to do what you came here to do. And some people figure that out in a short amount of time. They accomplish their goals in a short amount of time, and they go. Some return, you feel me, and want to do something else. But your fate is to help you. Everything that sets you back is really here to put pressure on you, put weight on you, so you can become stronger. Your disadvantages, you're meant to make your weaknesses your strength. You're fated to lack so that you could discover the abundance that you have and even be put in a situation to where you unlock the ability to be abased and abound, to create something out of nothing. And this is, you truly possess everything that you need is inside of you. Just like they used to say on the old cartoons, on the old, on the old movies and video games and the Disney movies, follow your heart, everything you need is inside. Like when they reached the Wizard of Oz, they realized they had everything they need inside of them already. It's just, we look outside of ourselves and we look for validation. We look for support, we look for comfort. We even look for ourselves and other people. And sometimes we look for a person to give us these things that only we can give ourselves, that only we can find within ourselves. And sometimes this is just our journey. traveling through places, through people, and through situations and experiences. Because life is just different rooms with different people. And so, this is how you balance the darkness with the light. And I'm understanding that the darkness goes as dark as you can imagine. But so does the light, as bright as you can imagine. And once a mind is expanded past certain parameters, it can never return. And this is your awakening. This is your innovation. This is your evolution. This is your catalyst. This is your growth. This is you remembering. And so, you can't run from it. If you were to live in a perfect world and you only saw the light, you wouldn't even enjoy life. If you're so used to winning all the time, you wouldn't understand how to lose. Anybody could win. And as we grow older, like as we're a child, like we might be around our parents, they might like, yeah, you won, you did that. You know, to boost our confidence. Even like cubs with lions, sometimes their cub will be, sometimes a lion or a lioness will let their cub bite them, and they'll be like, to encourage the child to believe that it's strong and it's powerful. And so a lot of times people even let us win. God will let us win. But in some situations, God will make us lose. And you can't go against God. I mean, you could try, but that's like flying too close to the sun. And that's a battle you'll never win. We create a lot of resistance when we go against God's will for our life, even though we have free will. We have to understand that God already knows everything. We might have to walk the earth in circles for, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, 50 years to discover something, to have an epiphany, but God knows before we were even created what it is that we want, who it is that we like, where we want to be, where we want to work at, what will make us happy. A lot of times we spend our life searching for this happiness, and we think we need these things, and we really don't know. Because sometimes we get the thing that we thought we wanted and we don't want it anymore. Sometimes, and then we as humans could be fickle. Emotions could be fickle. Even thoughts. And so things change, people change, and situations change. But God already knows. And so it's best to align with His will and His purpose for our life. We were created with a purpose. And we're here to execute that. It's already written on the CD. Yes, we could do everything that's in the bounds of the game. You could jump, you go, oh, look at this. Even think we found a glitch. Like, look at this glitch. Don't nobody know about this. But there's nothing new underneath the laser. There's nothing new underneath the sun. It's nothing new. And I use the creator, like the creator of a CD. They might not know about the glitch that's installed. They may have to create a patch, an updated version. They may have to release a sequel to where that glitch is not in the game. And they may have to re-edit that. But on earth, God already knows everything, and there's nothing new. Everything's being recreated. And we're experiencing recreation. And so like at the highest in the crown chakra is Ida and Pingala, Shiva, or Kali and Shiva. It's your light and your darkness. As dark as you can imagine, as bright as you can imagine. That's the world, and that's life. You can't have one without the other, and too much light leaves you blind. That's where your innocence comes from, when you have no experience. And you have these preconceived notions about the world and everything that's embedded and programmed in your subconscious and in your conscious. You're just projecting it. And so you're unaware of the darkness that's around it. But the moon and the darkness is the truth, what you really feel, what you really sense, what really exists in the shadows that's created by the light. Everything works in tandem. Much like life. Like what we perceive it in a society. In society, there is darkness and light. Like the cops and the robbers. When I was a kid, I used to think the cops and the robbers were like, pick a side. Like, red or blue. But if you look at the flag and you look at even the sirens, they're red and blue. Red, white, and blue. The white is the light. That's the truth. The red and the blue, that's just different sides, masculine and feminine. Alpha and Omega. The cops and the robbers work together. The same way you got different levels of crime, like blue collar crime. You have officials working with the underworld. The underworld and the world in which you see on TV, that's televised to you, that's programmed through social engineering and propaganda, they both exist and they work together. I had a friend who studied criminology that was a professor. And once he taught me about criminology, I began to look at the world differently. I began to look at the suburbs and the ghetto and the rich parts of my city differently. I didn't understand it was all constructed with a purpose. I used to do door-to-door sales, and our number one point of selling was keeping up with the Johnsons, which meant we go in this nice neighborhood. All of these neighborhoods, now we were kids from the hood, urban city, from the hood, in the ghetto. We would go to these nice houses, beautiful homes. 2 different car garages, some just lone properties with a flagpole and a driveway that was like a half circle, a half moon. And some of these homes were worth $1 million or $500,000, $250,000. And our major point of sale was keeping up with the Johnsons. Every holiday, Halloween, you gotta have the best candy. You have to have the best ornaments outside, the best costumes. If you wanted to, Christmas, you gotta compete with the lights, the best gifts. You got to be the number one parent, best car, best looking house, best clean cut lawn. Everybody was trained to compete. And it's like those fences were just blinders and a separation to their own bubble. It's different than communism where everything is just the same, but this is capitalism. And so underneath the triangle is just everybody's trying to compete with themselves and trying to make it up the triangle to be the top. And so it's inevitable. There is no number one. The triangle is just the caste system, the same caste system that's been created since the dawn of time, where you're subject in this system to where you work for somebody, what trade of work that you do, how expensive or stylish are your clothes, what do you look like if you're a woman, what do you look like, your reputation, your sexual partners, a man, your reputation, your how much you can provide, your work history, your credentials. And so it's all a part of the system. And I'm understanding that the triangle exists in people's minds. Before the triangle, we had the circle. And this is the circle of life. And the triangle isn't outside of the circle. It's inside the circle. Because the circle can't be destroyed. The earth is a circle, the sun is a circle, the moon is a circle. Our chakras are circles. The planets travel in circles. Life travels in a circle. Circles, these are circles, are cycles, which can become curses. You can pivot them, you can change them, you can align, change your alignment with them, but you cannot stop the circles. And you can place the triangle inside the circle. But the triangle could never be outside of the circle. Because the circle is the circle of life and the cycle of life.